What a week. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Tesla weekly video for today. I hope you're all having a wonderful weekend so far. So, in this video, we will go over, of course, the usual stuff, numbers out of China, numbers out of Europe and other countries as well for the month of May. And then we will have to talk, of course, about that situation. Whatever that was, whatever happened on Thursday, well, for me, Thursday night, for you, Thursday afternoon, doesn't matter. We'll have to talk about that in this video. And then I also want to touch on a post from the head engineer for the Optimus program. He is leaving and he wrote a very, very long and nice post. So we're going to talk about that. Now, Tesla on Friday rebounded just like the overall market. Closed the day at $295.14. Over the past couple of days, over the past 5 days, the stock was down around 14%, and at one point it was down closer to 20%. We're also back under $1 trillion in the market cap, which, if we're being honest, makes a bit more sense. So, without further ado, hit all the buttons, especially the subscribe one. We really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to full.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. And let's not forget that we are in the month of June. So in the month of June, we should expect a robotaxi launch in Austin, 10 to 20 vehicles. And we should also be expecting the new and more affordable models. We're already in June, just an FYI. All right, so first up, the weekly numbers coming out of China for the week. That came in at 13,060 vehicles, so a bit better than last week. Currently, Q2 sits at 71,630. That's, of course, less than the 90,887 same period last year. Of course, if you want this sheet as well, that's available for channel members. As for the split between Model Y and Model 3, we've got 10,210 Model Ys and 2,820 Model 3 from last week. As for sales in some select European countries, so here we've got the UK, Norway, Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Czech Republic, and Ireland. The number for the week came in at 2,900. Last week that was 2,100, and 2 weeks ago that was 2,200. Of course, yes, we are making our way back up, but we are still far away from where we once were previously. We are doing a little bit better in the last couple of weeks compared to Q1. But of course, that doesn't change much, right? A little bit better is still very bad if you're looking at the figures here. So, year-to-date Tesla sales in Germany. For the month of May, the sales number came in at 1,210. And year-to-date, we are, of course, down 58% compared to where we were last year. As for the Netherlands, the number came in at 1,057. And year-to-date, compared to the same period last year, we are still down 51%. As for the UK, we're actually doing much better than previously expected. The UK's number for May was 2016. Year to date, we are still down 8% compared to the same period last year. But the UK is, of course, now the biggest market for Tesla in Europe, although you might say that UK might not be considered Europe, but you get what I'm saying here. As for Australia, so we're going for a second to the other end of this planet, down under. Number came in at 3,897. Year to date, we are still down 48% compared to where we were last year. As for France, barely anything, 721, down 47% year to date, same period last year. As for Norway, a very strong month of May, as you can see, 2,600 vehicles, and we're actually up year to date 8% more than where we were last year. So congratulations, Norway, and that's already a market that's quite advanced when it comes to the ICE replacement and move to EV. So very impressed with Norway. As for the United States, the number came in at around 46,000 for the month of May, and year to date we are still down 11% compared to the same period last year. Now, of course, in Q1, we used the excuse and the explanation that, we had that Model Y refresh, and that's why things were down, plus, of course, the political impact from Elon. In Q2, I don't think we can use the Model Y refresh excuse or explanation as much as in Q1. I think it will have more to do with, again, yes, political impact from Elon, plus also just a lack of demand for Teslas and EVs overall. But luckily for us, Tesla does have a segment of its business, the energy side of things, that is growing quite fast and that does have high margins. And we actually have a new deal here. So Clearway announces major energy storage procurement order from Tesla. This is an order worth around $440 million. So they announced several battery storage agreements with Tesla totaling 490 megawatts or 1,356 megawatt hours. The deal marks a substantial step forward in Clearway's growing fleet of energy storage systems, which provides reliability services throughout the country and adds to its existing 520 megawatts, 1,680 megawatt hours order of Tesla Megapacks presently being installed and commissioned in Utah and Texas. So yeah, I guess this is one side of the business that, of course, is less sexy, although it does grow much faster than the automotive side of the business, but definitely gets way less attention than the autonomous or robotic side of the business, which is probably why we're all paying such a premium to have Tesla stock. So yeah, on the one hand, you have negative headlines because still today, of course, the core business, that's right, where revenue come from, is the automotive side, and that's taking a hit, right? Nobody can tell you otherwise. The energy side is not being talked about because, again, it is less sexy, although that is growing quite quickly and has high margins. So I don't know why this gets ignored time and time again, but that's the case. And then whatever comes next, right? This is always a stock. I think Roy Crossroads talked about that as well yesterday or 2 days ago. He said it very well because this is a narrative investment, right? This is a narrative-led stock. It's not really about what happens right now. It's always about what happens next. That has been Tesla for as long as I can remember. Now, yes, it's true that when we do get robotaxis, whenever that will be, and when we do get the Optimus robot at scale, the story will not be what comes next, because that big of a shift, that big of an impact on the business will already be enough. There will be no reasons, in my opinion, for us investors or for the market to start thinking about, okay, cool, robotaxis, Optimus robot, now what comes next? No, it's going to be about finally the now, right? This is now. This is Tesla right now. How much money can they really generate from robotaxis, from Optimus robot? It's not going to be a narrative story anymore. It will be truly a business and investment story, execution story. You might say this is already the case right now because, well, we are in June, so we should be expecting the robotaxi launch in Austin. Plus, humanoid robots are also getting quite a lot of attention, so I assume that we're going to get even more demos and information throughout the back half of this year. All right, now let's talk a little bit about, well, what has happened on Thursday. I'm not going to go every single post, or actually I'm not going to show you any post. If you want to go look at that, just go on X or just Google it and I'm sure you'll find it. I'm just going to be very clear on what I was thinking at that moment and what I'm still thinking today. If you follow me on X, you probably already know what I'm going to say. Now, what has happened should not have happened. If we're being honest here, it should not have happened. There are certain ways to go about things, and what has happened Thursday is definitely not the way to go, right? This is not kindergarten. This is not us being in high school having some throwing some tantrum or whatnot. No. First of all, I agree with Elon actually, and I think most of us do, right? This spending addiction needs to stop and needs to get under control. I think we can agree. Elon, of course, put himself at risk, put Tesla at risk, all the other companies put them at risk because he did enter politics, he did do Doge, and of course he was at the center of attention. So him taking that hit, spending so much time on making sure that, well, the government does not spend that much and make sure that they are actually finding waste and fraud and abuse to then see a bill which was over 1,000 pages long, which clearly, according to plenty of politicians, hasn't been read by all of them, and yet they all voted on it, which is also something quite strange. I can understand his frustration from Elon Musk. I understand the frustration, but as someone that has spent months and months in the White House, you cannot tell me that you had zero opportunities to actually talk about this bill or look at it, right? To me, it doesn't make sense. Maybe I'm completely wrong, that's fine. But I would assume that when you spend so much time at the White House, you get to talk with some of the folks that actually spend time writing this bill. And also, Speaker Johnson said that this bill, they've been working on it for 14 months. That's quite strange since Donald Trump has only been in office for about 6 months. So is this bill his bill, or is this bill Speaker Johnson's bill and the previous administration? Something just doesn't make much sense here. But okay, politics, it's politics. It's the worst game in town. Hopefully AI will replace it in the future. Moving back to the frustration part, I understand, and okay, he made some tweets. But after making those normal tweets, I don't know, the smart thing to do, I guess, would have been to pick up the phone and talk about it, right? Pick up the phone or go face to face. No, instead, he cranked it up a level, which was extremely childish. Some might say, yeah, but we're used to it, right? It's Elon Musk, he tweets about everything that he thinks, and that's the way it just is. Okay, fine, but some of the things that he posted on there were, he was pushing it. And then some. You're still talking to the President of the United States. Then Donald Trump also said some things that clearly did not make much sense either. Talking about the incentives and the subsidies. Elon has been very clear. He wants subsidies to go away, but not just for EVs, for everyone. So it's fair across the board. So some of the things here, one side lies, the other side makes things up, and then insults here, insults there. Especially the you-know-what list post, that was a hit below the belt, and I don't even know how you can come back from that. I just don't know. It was crazy. Like in a matter of a couple of hours, burned the bridges, burned the house down, burned everything down. I was extremely frustrated because this was not just, okay, fine, you spent a lot of time, but it could have been also very frustrating for, Tesla, SpaceX, all the other companies that are coming, of course, under the spotlight if this gets even worse, right? Rocket Lab went up because, the contracts for SpaceX, there was something about that. Again, these things, this whole story could have been dealt with much better. And then you go and think about, is holding Tesla actually worth the headache, right? I'm sure plenty of investors are thinking about that right now and have been thinking about that for a long, long time. Is it worth the headache? For a lot of people, no, not at all. Not at all. Like if I did not have a position in Tesla, I probably would not open a position in Tesla at the moment. Very, very simple. Very simple, because it's not worth the headache, right? Those that have been saying for years and years that this is the only investment I see that is making sense for me in the market, I'm sorry to say, but that's BS, right? It just doesn't make any sense. If we're talking about humanoid robots, there are plenty of companies out there that also are going to make humanoid robots. I think there was a report about Amazon working on that as well. And I say, Amazon, if Amazon wants, I think Amazon can do humanoid robots. And they're not going to be the only ones in the humanoid robot game. Autonomous vehicles. You know my view on autonomous vehicles, because I think Uber is still going to be a winner because they're going to be that central player. I think there are going to be plenty of companies that will have an autonomous option out there, an autonomous solution. So yeah, I can agree. I can agree with those that say, no, it's not worth the headache, because no matter how good the products are going to be, it will always have to be about Elon Musk. Of course, unless Elon Musk is not the CEO of Tesla anymore, I don't know, in 2030 or whatnot. And this has actually been one of my predictions. I think that by 2030, he will not be CEO of Tesla anymore. He will take a role like SpaceX chief engineer or something like that. Just a prediction. If you agree, disagree, let me know down in the comment section below. Moving on to the last thing, and that's Milan Kovach's departure from Tesla. He was working on the Optimus robot program. So, over the past 9+ years, I've had the immense privilege to work with some of the most brilliant minds in AI and engineering. I've built friendships that will last a lifetime. This week, I've had to make the most difficult decision of my life and will be moving out of my position. I've been far away from home for too long and will need to spend more time with family abroad. I want to make it clear that this is the only reason, and it has absolutely nothing to do with anything else. My support for Elon Musk and the team is ironclad. Tesla team forever. Joining Tesla in 2016 as an engineer in the core autopilot team and then leading a part of it over the years under Elon was already more than I could have hoped for. I'll never forget the countless hardcore debugging sessions deep into the night with my awesome colleagues through successful generation of autopilot computers and related software stacks, which we've shipped to so many people around the world. The product has become so much more since then, and I honestly can't drive much without it anymore. It will soon catch the world off guard and will change the way people commute. The transition to build and lead the Optimus Group early 2022, when we had nothing but a couple of KUKA arms arranged upside down, was of another level for me. We had to build an entire platform, hardware and software all at once, and this amazing team did it. They did it, I didn't. It's been, and this is an important part because, well, some people are already saying, oh, look, he's leaving, so this program is going to die down. He's clearly here making that statement to make sure that he is not the key to that puzzle, right? It's a team effort, not just a one-man show. It's been so humbling to work with such talented people, and I've got entire faith in them pushing Optimus to the next level. Together with the broader Tesla AI and engineering and production team, my departure now will not change a thing. I want to thank my colleagues, which are Ashok and Srihari, who've been a tremendous support over the many years we've worked together, but also the outstanding leaders, engineers, recruiters, technicians, operators, HR partners, and everyone I've been blessed to share a part of my life with. Most importantly, I want to thank Elon Musk from the bottom of my heart for his trust and teachings over the decade we've worked together. Elon, you've taught me to discern signal from noise, hardcore resilience, and many fundamental principles of engineering. I am forever grateful. Tesla will win. I guarantee that. A wonderful, wonderful goodbye message. And yeah, remains to be seen what's going to happen with Optimus. Hopefully, I do hope we get an event later this year where we again can show the latest or can see the latest version of Optimus. Of course, basing ourselves on the timeline that Tesla has given us, 2026 should be the year where we actually see quite a lot of Optimus robots out there. Well, out there at Tesla, maybe out there as well. And so, to conclude, it's been one hell of a week. Actually, it's been one hell of I wouldn't even say a week, I'd say even a year or so as a Tesla shareholder. So many things have changed, so many things have happened. Stock has gone up, stock has gone down. But at the end of the day, what matters, of course, is, well, that the business executes, right? Because the narrative story can only last so long. It's been working, and of course, they've delivered, right? The Model Y, best-selling vehicle for 2 years running around the world. So that has worked out. But since the focus has been shifted so much to autonomous vehicles and Optimus robot, they better deliver, right? They better deliver on those promises, especially since, like I said at the start of this video, we are in June. We are in June and we're all expecting something to happen. We're all expecting robotaxis in Austin and, of course, new and more affordable models, first half of 2025. That should be happening in June. Now, if not, then the market will again react and say, oh, again, Tesla is late. And then the next time they'll say, oh, we're going to launch that day, the market will not react positively because they'll say, look, you told the same thing last time, didn't happen. So again, I agree on both sides. I think I'm one of the only ones that actually holds Tesla for many years now, but can agree with both sides. The sides that, yeah, we like it, We understand, we like it, but it is a headache to hold it, and it's not worth it for my portfolio. I also understand the other side that are saying, look, autonomous vehicles, Optimus robot, humanoid robots, it's $1 trillion opportunity. So of course, I'll have to own shares of it, which is why I still have my position in that company. Although it might not be as big as it previously was before as a percentage of my overall portfolio, but I still want to get that exposure because I still believe that the Tesla team is one of a kind. And so that's about it for me in this video. Hopefully you enjoy when I think out loud. I know some of you might not agree with me, some might agree with me, and that's completely fine. Again, that's the fun part of investing, is that it's your money, it's my money, it's your portfolio, it's my portfolio. We make decisions for ourselves, not for others, unless of course you manage money. So yeah, that's something else. But anyways, that's all I've got for you right now. Hit all the buttons, especially the subscribe one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.